Naam, bila shaka mtazamaji, na sasa nataka tuelekee moja kwa moja katikati ya jiji la Nairobi ambapo mbunge wa Kiharu Ndindi Nyoro anazungumza na vyombo vya habari kuhusiana na baadhi ya masuala ibuka ambayo yanamzingira na hususan uhusiano wake na serikali ya sasa mtazamaji, hususan Rais William Ruto ambaye alikuwa rafiki wake wa karibu. Lakini je, kuna nini sasa? Atapasua mbarika? Basi tusikie anasema nini.
May want to report, and that is given because that is the work of a media house. So I've clarified that so that I'll be open to a few questions afterwards. But I just highly request, I am here as a Kenyan. I speak when I want to speak. I know we have interacted in many forums. We know each other person's character in terms of where they need to invoke courage, where they need to invoke whatever they need to say. And I know for sure, I'm not shy to say anything that I feel I need to say. So whatever I may leave and say today is basically based on the fact that the reason I called you is the one I'll talk about. And as I start, I first of all want to be very grateful. Myself, personally, for the chance I have had to serve the Kenyan people in the position of the chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee in the National Assembly. As you know and you have interacted, that has been my designation. And that is work we did with a lot of dedication. And I am grateful for that opportunity. I am also very grateful to have interacted with many people as I serve as the chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Of course, working with the Honorable Mary Amase, who was the vice chairperson, and all the other members, all the other 25 members, incorporating myself and the vice chair who make us 27. I am truly grateful for that chance. That chance of serving as the chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee made me understand many things that I scarcely understood before. It made me know the workings of government in terms of its levels, its arms, departments and agencies of government, and how they work. And therefore, as much as it was work, it was also a profound learning experience that I am truly grateful for. I am also thankful for the fact that I had trained as an economist some many years back in KU. And when I got the chance to serve as the chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, I had the first-hand learning of how macroeconomic parameters relate with each other. I was able to first-hand experience the things I was learning, and therefore it was also a continuation of a learning experience, and especially in regards to many macroeconomic factors, how inflation is affected by interest rates, how interest rates affect private enterprise, and many other economic parameters that we hear, but they are also far-reaching in terms of how we live, and they are also far-reaching in terms of what our country becomes. And by the way, out of that experience, in the year 2023, I realized I also needed to upgrade a little bit, because I singularly found that our country, yes, have many challenges, but the overarching challenge that we face as a country are economic challenges in nature. And given the chance I was serving in as the chairman of Budget Committee, I decided to also go back to school. I actually started pursuing 2 master's degrees together. One in KU, Master of Economics in Public Policy, and the other one in the University of Nairobi, that is Masters of Arts in Economics. And I've been pursuing those from 2023. attending class physically, where I needed to attend physically, and those who offer online, also attending class online, and by the way, as a student, not as an MP. And I decided to do that because I also wanted to deepen my knowledge in the economic platform. And the more the reason, I made it my duty to listen in terms of attendance, and also to participate in any other participatory issues that I needed to do as a student. And gratefully, I am actually done with coursework. I am now doing the projects, both of them together. And by the grace of God, I may graduate this year. I am not talking about myself when I talk about going back to school. It is basically because the motivation of pursuing those two actually came out of quest to know better, so that the decision I continued to make are optimal, objective, and especially based on things that then would make our country move forward, especially given the pivotal position which I was serving in. And if you look at this table around here, these two shelves is actually classwork. All this you see around here, these are issues around classwork. And I was doing it again, and I'm repeating, because I thought, and I still believe even now, that it is important that even as we serve in our specific capacities, that we continue to also develop ourselves, to sharpen ourselves, so that we can be making more efficient decisions as leaders. So in a nutshell, I have been very, very, I should be very grateful, and I have been very honored by the Kenyan people to have served in that capacity, and especially when our country really needed us to do what we needed to do. Just as snapshot of, so that you understand where I'm coming from. This position is very involving, and I am sure many of you have covered us before. Sometimes sleeping in this office, leaving here very early in the morning. Not just myself, also the members of the members who are serving with. But it was also an experience also to learn and know Kenya. There are things we used to do called public participation, where we would choose. We started with 12, we ended up with 20 counties every year, where we would allocate some retro money, actually 100 million per county, and we would then go there to ask Kenyans what they would prefer that we prioritize. The last one, I was privileged to actually travel all the way to Madeira and interact with the people of Madeira, and I am glad that I have had many, many of such experiences to also relate what we do on the table and how that is far-reaching and how that affects the lives of the Kenyan people. For example, there when we went, the leaders were very categorical. There was a teachers, a TTC, Teachers Training College, and a KMTC, which they told us the entire 100 million to give to those two. Because when we go all out to do those things, we specifically look at the impact of how those projects would work. And also by giving preference to what the leadership and the people themselves request us to, or were requesting us to do. Having said that, also for perspective's sake, and allow me to say it because it is how it is. At some point we got too busy, because you remember when you are here in the chairman of budget.
Naam, bila shaka mtazamaji, huyo ni mbunge wa Kiharu Ndindi Nyoro akizungumza katika jumba la mikutano la KCC. Anazungumza na vyombo vya habari kuhusiana na baadhi ya masaibu ambayo yamemkumba, hususan tangu mahusiano yake na utawala wa sasa kuwa kidogo kutilia doa ama kutiwa doa. Nakumbuka huyu ni mwandani wake Rigathi Gachagua ambaye ni naibu rais wa zamani na ambaye aling'atuliwa mamlakani, na hivyo basi miongoni mwa masaibu ambayo yamemkumba kufuatia uhusiano wake na naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua ni pamoja na kung'atuliwa kutoka kamati ya bajeti ya bungeni. Kumbuka hii ni kamati muhimu sana mtazamaji, kamati ambayo huongoza mchakato mzima wa kutayarisha bajeti ya kitaifa, na hivyo basi kung'atuliwa kwake kuna maana kuu sana, na ndio manake anazungumzia yale ambaye anazingira kuwepo kwake kwenye kamati ile, akisema yeye alikuwa amehitimu vya kutosha, alikuwa amehitimu kikamilifu kutoka chuo kikuu cha Kenyatta, na hivyo basi hakuwa kwa nafasi hiyo kwa misingi pengine ya uhusiano wake na serikali ya sasa. Hivyo basi mengi pengine huenda yakaibuka kwenye taarifa hiyo ambaye anatoa kwa vyombo vya habari mtazamaji. Je, atakuwa anajiondoa kutoka chama cha UDA ama atakuwa anatangaza nini lingine? Basi sisi tusubiri hapa studioni, letu ni jicho na kukupasha kikamilifu. Lakini tusonge